So hey gang, just going to be making a video about the new addition to the family, the Kayo K6-R twin cam, dual overhead cam, 250cc motocross bike. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is David. I have the channel, the Dirt Bike Dave channel on YouTube, and in that on that channel it's been about dirt bikes in general, but recently it has focused on my Orion RXB 250, which is an air-cooled Chyna bike. But I recently couldn't turn down the opportunity to get this bike, and I'm going to go into the reasons why. Today I rode it a little bit at a private, I'll call it a track. It's not quite a track, but just for shits and giggles, we're going to call it a track. It does have some loops. It does have some jumps, but nothing big. But it was my first ride, so this is my first riding impression of this new Kayo, which is also a Chyna brand. A lot of you probably don't know about it. They've been in the market for a long time here in the United States, but they never had these big bikes, these 250s. You know, they don't have, you know, the big ones. They've just had little, like pit bikes, if you will call it that, and some, I think the biggest four-wheeler they had was a 200, maybe even a 250, I'm not sure on that, but they also recently wanted to become a manufacturer that sells with brick and mortar stores. So in 2021, they cut all ties where they might have supplied engines and bikes around the world to others, but now they've become 100% Kayo, and they're going to sell them in brick and mortar stores in the United States to dealers. So unlike the business model where you buy a Chyna bike and have it shipped to you, these you actually go into a store. You have to get it from a dealer, an authorized dealer. I'll put the link in my description box, but it's Kayo USA if you want to look at it right now, and there is a place for locate dealer. The dealer network is kind of small right now, especially on the East Coast. They're trying to get a foothold here in the United States. And let me tell you, if this is the beginning quality, it's going to go up from there. It has nowhere to go but up. This bike is, I'm going to just flat out say it, on par with the Big Five. And by five, you know, with KTM, I'm including Gas, Husky, KTM, Suzuki, Yamaha, Honda, Kawasaki. It's not the cutting edge as far as the motocross bikes go. It's not, you know, the very top of the line as far as that. They have an EFI version of this, but it's more of, that one is more of an off-road bike. This is a pure motocross bike. So if you're looking for a Chyna option for a motocross bike, this is the one. The K6-R carbureted version. Dual overhead cam, carbureted, 250cc. Sorry, 250cc, so you guys don't get confused on that. My riding impression of it today is it's incredible. The only thing recently that I've ridden that I can compare it to, because a lot of my stuff that I've ridden is a little bit older, but I recently had the opportunity to ride a 2019 Honda CRF 250 motocross bike. And let me tell you, this thing is on par with that. It doesn't have the screaming top end Doesn't quite get there as far as total horsepower numbers, if you will. But the broad use of power and the torque that it has, in some ways it's even better than the Honda. It has more bottom. The mid is as strong, just doesn't have that hard hit. And the top, you know, for me it's kind of hard to judge a top. I'm not bringing any bike out all the way in 6th gear on a motocross track. I'm sorry, I'm just on a motocross track, which is what I ride primarily, I just don't get there. I have ripped it down the street and hit 6th gear, and let me tell you, it moves. But obviously it's geared for motocross, so this bike comes with a 1351 for the gearing. So some of my other first impressions on it is the build quality, like going over the bike. I'm going to give you an intense look at this bike also today on this same video. But just the welds, it comes with CNC stuff everywhere. There's bling and billet aluminum everywhere, just even more so than the Japanese and Austrian options. And I'm going to go through and go through all that and show you just what you get. So to get it right out of the way, you know, I'm not looking for you guys to roast up people in the comments about this bike as far as Chinese versus Japanese. I think they're all great. Anything that you can get is an option, and this bike fills a void, as a matter of fact, because it's lower price point. And for older guys like myself, I'm coming up on 56 in January. For new guys coming in who want to go maybe from a mini to a 250, or just a new person who hasn't ridden at all but is of the size that a 250, a full-size bike is, instead of having a smaller version. This fills a void in the marketplace, and I think it's an absolute steal of an option. Retail price is $4,999, $5,000. You have to pay destination, taxes, setup fees. It gets to be, frankly, I don't know. I bought this one used, but you're probably getting close to 6 or minimally 55, 58, probably in that neighborhood. But I would encourage you to haggle the price. I mean, these are not known yet. It's not out. There's no content out on YouTube. That's why I'm making this. There's very little reviews. You can't find stuff on Thumper Talk. You can't find stuff anywhere. Like, Dirt Bike Magazine hasn't, that I'm aware of, or Motocross Action. They haven't touched one of these yet, and maybe never will. It's just not their genre. But it deserves a look, a good look. You have a dealer, so if you find out that one is available, because with all the shipping supplies problems that we've had, even the Japanese can't get their bikes in, so that may be the same scenario for these. I know they're kind of hard to find, but if you can go see one, you will see the build quality of this is on par with the Japanese. You won't find anything that you haven't seen, maybe a little bit in the past, but of the same quality. Chrome moly frame, like beautiful welds, aluminum rims, thick stainless steel spokes, and I'm going to go into more of it. But the motor is based, it's a Zongshin. It's a motor that has dead-on reliability. I think they've tweaked this one a little bit more. I want to say, because it's the motocross version, without getting out and tearing an engine apart and measuring it and weighing it, it revs quicker than any other Chinese bike that I've ever had or messed around with or rode. It's on par with the Japanese bikes as far as how it revs out. So I'm going to say some of maybe the piston is lighter. Some of the build stuff is on par with the Japanese. The bike itself is a little bit heavy. A little bit heavier, just a little, not a lot. They're claiming 244, but I mean, you can drop some right off the bat. Switching to a lithium-ion battery. This is electric start, which is freaking awesome, but it also has a backup kickstart lever. If you want to toss that lever, that's probably a pound right there, or pretty dang close to it. And I'm sure there's just other things. I haven't thought about it a whole lot. This is a new bike to me, so I'm just so excited, as you can probably see, to tell you guys that there is no more Japanese comparison. This is a motocross bike. They race them in China. They race them in Europe. I found a couple other places around the Pacific Rim where they race these things. And they win championships. I mean, they're good. There's a guy in the Czech Republic, I think, that also does off-road stuff with it. But I've also seen him do free ride, like heel clickers and seat grabs and just insane stuff, this guy. So I'm just in love with this thing already, and I've only ridden it, like, I maybe rode it an hour today. I had a chance to get off work early and go on some private land and just rip it around a little bit. But if you have any questions about this thing, please put them in the comments. I will do my best to get you an answer. I have a couple people that I can reach out to if I can't get you the answer myself. Of course, I'm going to be making more videos with this bike. I don't know if you guys still care about ride videos, but I'll make some in the beginning here for sure, and try some different things, suspension settings. But yeah, let me go over this whole bike though. You are not going to believe the build quality and the bling you get for the price. All right. So, starting off with the front. Right off the bat, a very good quality disc brake cover. Some of these are very flimsy. This one's very good, and it's definitely thicker at the mounting points. Obviously, you got disc brakes, but dual caliber disc brakes with 240 millimeter wave rotors. Just like what comes on any Japanese bike or KTM right now. The tires are Kenda Washougal, which is an intermediate tire, and they're damn good. People trade out their tires to buy these Kendas. So that come in stock is just amazing to me. and I actually felt like they were very good. And I rode it in clay. And they definitely hooked up. So, okay, so going to the forks. The forks are made by a company called Fast Ace. There's the company name, Fast Ace. They're getting better as they've been building these, but these are specifically, I've been informed that these are specifically valved and sprung for this motocross version, separate of the off-road trail bike EFI version. If I'm incorrect about that, please somebody correct me in the comments, but that is what I have been told by their people. So the Fast Ace are 47, the tubes are 47 millimeters. Just like most, not the newest, but very recent history of Honda. And to top it off, the internals are copies of Honda twin chamber forks, which are my favorite spring fork. I really like them. I think that these are totally workable with, you can change out the oil, you can get seals. The internal springs, the spring, I'm going to just go out on a limb and say you can get the springs for this and they'll just be switching with Honda because everything is very similar. So going up, you get steel braided brake line. Make sure you guys run it on the inside. They always seem to run them on the outside, but change that to the inside. Fork guards. The front fender is front fender and number plate is KTM 2015 copy and is high quality. I mean, this is hard good stuff, man. The amazing thing when you started talking about the bling, CNC aluminum triple clamps. These things are beautiful. Let me just show you. Look at that. Look at that work. That's straight copy KTM. That thing is freaking awesome. Fat bars, unfortunately solid mount, but 2 location. You can move them forward or back. There's the clickers for your forks. Compression on top, rebound on the bottom, just like Japanese. High quality throttle, good tube, plastic tube, but good grips. I really like the good grips. Master cylinder, high quality, not that bad. I mean, it's not that bad. Brake and start buttons, good grips. Look at this bling. Let me show you this. Cnc Breakaway Levers with adjustability so that you can move them, in or out. It does have a key start. Not a big fan, but for a motocross bike, but it is what it is. Brake lever, same thing. Breakaway. CNC aluminum. You don't get that stuff stock usually. It's amazing. So, let's go to the power plant. The meat of the sandwich. Dual overhead cam, 1, 2, 249cc Zongshin engine. Putting out what I've been told somewhere between 32 and 34 horsepower. Stock. Easily can be modified to go up. And they also sell a 300cc. If you feel like you need that, which I'm telling you, you probably don't. Most people would be very happy with what this thing puts out. I'm telling you, it is very good. Give it a try. But obviously it's liquid cooled. So you have an overflow catch can here on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, if you can see it, yeah, right there is a fan. So the build quality, like I'm telling you, is amazing, and they thought about everything. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but the welds are amazing. This is a steel frame, just like the KTMs. It's basically a copy of a freaking KTM, if I'm honest. There you see, dual spar. There you go down there, very KTM-ish. 100% KTM right there. The twin spars like that. This frame piece is oval. This one is round. The bike is carbureted. Some people might call that a negative, but I think if you get a good... It's very easy to get a good jetting on a carb if you're in the same elevation all the time, and you're basically in the same temperatures. Like here for me in North Carolina, Basically, it's a set it and forget it once you get it. Sometimes you get into the cold months and it might be a little bit hard, but for the most part, I'd rather have a carb, to be honest with you. There's a lot of problems with EFIs, and you have to keep them very clean. But I won't detract it. I mean, an EFI is a better option. That's why those new Japanese bikes cost more. I mean, you're getting something that physically costs more for them to make, and they pass that on to you. This carburetor is a 34 millimeter nibby, and it's the racing version. It's a little bit better build quality. Moving on. Aluminum shifter with folding tip. Alloy grip, alloy foot pegs. Very high build quality. I love that. Stock, man. You're getting this stuff stock. You don't normally get it stock. Right here. Look at that. Plastic frame guard. Stock. You usually have to go to a Sharebees and buy this stuff. But you're getting it stock. A lot of the Japanese bikes don't come with aluminum swing arms. The Chinese bikes don't come with aluminum swing arms. Nice aluminum swing arm all the way through. DID heavy duty chain. I mean, usually you get these crappy stretch in the first ride chains. This is one of my favorite things to show you guys. No tool air filter access, just like on the KTM. Just pull it off, slide it forward, boom. Got your air filter. Easy access. Let's see. Going back to the back. Stock aluminum sprockets. Stock. You usually have to buy this. Look at that beautiful hub. CNC aluminum hub with huge spokes. You're not going to screw up these rims, let me tell you. Obviously, I said before, the Kenda Washougal tire in the back too. Let's go around. Let's see. Look at this seat. Gripper seat with the bumps. Look at that. So you can't easily move backwards. Good quality silencer. I don't think you need to replace it, but I would say you probably need to go through and repack it. I learned that from my other Chinese bikes. They usually don't come with very good packing in it, so I'm going to be messing with that probably pretty soon. Again, on the back, wave rotors, 240 millimeters, dual caliber disc brakes. Awesome. Fast Ace rear suspension. I would say that the suspension on this bike, I would say, just as a guess, you're probably pushing the weight limit if you're 200 pounds, 210. Not that you can probably adjust it out to your liking if you're a slower or intermediate guy, but the real fast guys, it's probably just like the Japanese bikes. I would say it's probably designed for someone between 150 to 180, maybe in that neighborhood, the spring rates. But not saying that you can't get it to be fine with what you may be okay with what is on here. They definitely are progressive, and for right now, I think they're okay. Backup kickstart lever. Okay, you have electric start. Don't get me wrong. You have e-start, but they put this on here, I guess, for many other different engines, and it's good to have as a backup. The sight window for the oil. I love this. This is similar to KTM. They do to Kawasaki. They do this. so that you can, when you have it on stand level, you can see the oil level. Aluminum brake lever, steel tip, non-folder. That might end up being a problem, but not bad. Very simple design as far as the water cooling goes. Only really 2 hoses. It's not that bad, and how they mount and everything. I wouldn't be afraid really to work on this bike. I'm telling you, it's not that bad. The pipe has a resonance chamber in it. I mean, that comes... I'm not even going to change this pipe out, to be honest with you. I may change at some point the silencer, but I'm not even thinking I'm going to do that. I may just rework it. But the pipe is solid, man. Really good quality stuff here. Bling everywhere on this bike. This is an optional water pump impeller. It flows more volume. Oh. So here's another thing I forgot to mention. Stock. Hour meter tachometer. So when the engine's running, you see the tach. When it's not running, you see the hour meter. How cool is that? Stock. You don't have to pay extra for it. It's amazing. I'm in love with this thing right now, to be honest with you guys. I'm really telling you, it is high quality. And I would advise anyone interested in getting a new bike. You know, I mean, Japanese bikes, yeah, you know, people buy them every day. But they've gone up in price, and they keep going up in price. I think a brand new 250 is around 85, 89, maybe, almost 9,000, maybe. And then tax, tag, title, destination charges, whatever they charge you. You know, let's say you want a Honda. You know, you're not getting out the door less than $500-600 more, that's for sure. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. I really tried to be thorough with this review. I think this bike is freaking amazing. It's an incredible value. And I'm just loving it right now. I'm just so excited to bring this out to you, to the public. I know there's some other videos out, but very few of them. And, oh yeah, here you go. Another thing. Look at that beauty. Alloy subframe. A lot of the Chinese bikes go steel wherever they can to make it heavy. This bike is 243 pounds. I said it before. You can shed a little bit of weight here and there, but you can't lie about that. And you can't really lie about the power. Like I said, I'm hearing somewhere between 32 and 34. There's a lot you can do to make it better. But that's stock. And, you know, the newer Japanese and Austrian bikes are in the 40s for sure. But can you honestly say, you know, that you can use all of that? I don't think in this day and age, very many people, except the top level pros, you know, your local guy that's trying to go to Loretta Lynn's, or your vet expert who's, you know, trying to also go to Loretta Lynn's or something like that. But man, I'm telling you, this is a vet sleeper bike by far. This is amazing value for what you get, and you're going to get a brand new bike. And Kayo, new to the market, you know, yeah. They're going to have their ups and downs as a manufacturer, but at least you have somewhere to go. You have a building, you have a person to talk to who sold you the bike. And if you need it to be worked on, you know, you take it there instead of messing around with it yourself. But I encourage anybody to learn how to do this stuff yourself. None of this is overly complicated. With a good set of tools, the internet, and a good group of people giving you help and direction. Speaking of that, I'm also going to put a couple of groups in the description of this video. They will be the Kayo K6 and Kayo K6-R, Kayo K6 EFI group. And yeah, that's it for right now. I'm just going to give you that one. I used to be part of another group. I was going to put that in there, but I think let's just stick with this Kayo for now. So that's it. I'm signing off. Thank you for looking at this video. If you have any questions, like I said, put them in the comments and I will do my best to get to you. And maybe also go to that group and put questions in there and I'll get to you as soon as I can. Thanks. Keep riding.